But this is the big breaking story. We've got ABC News. U.S., UK launch large-scale retaliatory strikes against Iran-backed Houthi militants in Yemen. The Houthis had made repeated attacks on the Red Sea shipping despite U.S. warnings. Now, we have this story from The Conversation, why Yemen's Houthis are getting involved in the Israel-Hamas war and how it could disrupt global shipping. Basically, there's a video. I mean, have you guys seen this video where the helicopter lands and seizes the shipping vessel? Yep. This is nuts. We had Eric Prince on the Culture War, and he just outright mentioned, I mean, this could shut down a majority of global shipping by controlling this route. The end result is fairly obvious. Massive escalation of war in the region. Iran, of course, has to retaliate in some way. So far, they've been having their militias attack U.S. bases. But this is a component of the Israel war in Gaza. And I got to tell you, it's actually really sad to see, because I remember when we got the breaking news about the Abraham Accords during the Trump administration, and how you get all these liberals and Democrats, these personalities, were claiming that it was nothing, that it was just paying off people, whatever, it's not real peace. And my attitude was, dude, you have flights traveling over Muslim nations to Israel, from Muslim nations to Israel. We are actually moving forward with the basic components of long-standing peace.
Business was being conducted, because they probably always wanted to. A lot of reasons why they couldn't, but they changed that. And now, watching the region fall apart so quickly, the capitulation to Iran, and it's just insane, man. The adults were supposed to be back in charge, and
we all knew.
There's so much. You knew. I mean, of course you knew. You knew with the Afghan withdrawal, right? They didn't really want to learn how to win a war, but they wanted to learn about white rage. And the worst, I think, for me for that one, I think we discussed it last time I was on the show, was just watching, the Secretary of State get up there, before Congress, and do his thing. That he was, and I quote, shocked and dismayed that the Taliban did not install a more diverse and inclusive government. But no, I mean, I was like, you're joking, right? But they weren't. That was the Taliban that you've been fighting in a war for 20 years, that throw homosexuals off buildings. You thought they were going to have a trans coalition in Islamabad. Come on.
Well, to be fair, perhaps he thought when China moved in and took over the region,
yes,
that may be a path they move. But no, that's actually unfair, because China has masculinity training for their young people, and they put out commercials or propaganda to get their young men ripped and ready for war.
They're women, too. I watched a video of kids. This is how they're training the kids in schools, is they'll each have 2 basketballs that they're bouncing, and then they jump to the right, and they have the next basketball. So there's all these 24 basketballs in a circle, and 12 kids, or there's a lot more than that, actually.
Hey, but our kids know that there's 4,762 genders, so we got that going for us.